All right, guys, so continuation to the sprint training article um, series, the second video, I want to talk about sprinting in the brain. So Charlie Francis, the late and great speed coach, in my opinion, is honestly pioneer of so much what track and field still demonstrates today and what has been brought over into the strength and conditioning settings and athletic performance settings for athletes. If you haven't checked out one of his many books, I mean, the guy is just a fucking mastermind. I mean, I learned so much from him, and I can't think of anybody that parallels him, and I don't think he gets enough credit, for what he's been able to bring to the profession. And he was the first one that talked about this and had to do with sprinting, the sprinting pattern and how it works in the brain. So basically, where is that derived from? Where does it originate? And I think it's somewhat common knowledge now that when you sprint, this is something that has been, genetically passed down and by generation to generation, and it occurs in your hindbrain. So it's a very, actually, even though the pattern itself is very complicated and technical, the part of the brain that actually recruits and brings forth the sprint it serves basic functions that are highly instinctual, reactive, and aggressive in nature. So this is something that we're hardwired to do. So just think back when you were a little kid. Did your mom and dad tell you exactly how you had to move your extremities and your limbs and position your body to run? No, you just did it instinctually. It's something that's ingrained in us. We don't have to think about it. We just have to learn to express it better. And that's where training comes in. All training does is it helps you express all your genetic potential as an athlete or as somebody trying to get faster. And that's what you should focus on. You don't need to teach people how to run and sprint. We know how to do it. So if you do think about it and you do focus on it consciously, it actually inhibits this action. And to illustrate my point, all you got to do is consider if you're going to race somebody. If you're going to race somebody, do you actually sit there and fucking think about how you're going to move your arms and your legs and all of that? No, you focus on the finish line and you get going. That's all you got to do. All the hard work and the training that you put forth before that's going to express, and that should be your focus point. And it's honestly baffling how this whole notion, with all the science that we have, how it even came about. But it's still there. It's still rampant. It's like an epidemic, I would say, and it's something that we need to fix because if we don't start telling athletes that they need to abandon technical training, then you're just doing them a disservice. You're wasting their parents' money if they happen to be training with a trainer. And what you're also doing is you're putting them in a position where they're not excelling, so they're not as competitive in a game, competing for scholarships, so on and so forth. So it's a little subtle thing, but it actually does have quite a bit of an effect because everybody's mind's still shifted there, and they have this false belief that if they do, bongos or arm drives, they're actually going to get faster. But nothing is further from the truth. And I was guilty of it, so I'll take some backlash or some blame for that, but the science says otherwise, and logically all this stuff makes sense as well.